Really, guys, y'all be throwing shade at people who drive cyber trucks. Really. I think this is the first example of where consumerism as a religion has sparked fundamental outrage about freaking anything. Can you think of any time that owning a vehicle has caused outrage? I'll wait. And this is important. This is meaningful. This is something that hasn't happened before. It is remarkable. Why are so many people getting pissed off with the Tesla truck and even Teslas in general? Aren't we supposed to be uniting under Mother Earth, looking forward to for a way to eliminate emissions? No, no. All of a sudden, my political standpoint has everything to do with everything, and no longer is it about Mother Earth. No longer is it about saving nature. It is now about extracting vengeance on a CEO because of my uterus and everybody's uterus. But I don't care about Mother Nature's uterus. Screw Mother Nature. I don't give two cruds about her uterus. I only care about my ability to make choices right now. Because apparently women don't have the same rights as men. Now, if you want to get into Roe versus Wade, that is a different thing altogether. But at the same time, I legitimately feel like we're losing something in translation here. And while we are trying to protect victims, we are also beating the crap out of other victims that we don't directly identify with. Mother Nature. We are kicking the crud out of her. These arguments for and against are causing so much CO2, not only just to create protest signs, all the time you spend online complaining, all the time you spend going from place to place, and all of the, oh, let's face it, progressives are going to be litter bugs just as much as any hippies. Take a look at hippies. Take a look at any after party. What was it? What was, Woodstock might have been okay. Like, they cleaned up, but they had to clean up after other hippies. They had to clean up after a lot. Hippies are smelly and they don't clean up after themselves. Not all of them. Some of them are okay. But hey, let's look. I can talk about hippies because I am one, right? And white people are trash and all that stuff. White trash. Hey, hippies. Okay, I date hippie girls. The way I know my hippie girlfriends are about to cheat on me is they shave their armpits and they start wearing deodorant. Like, guys, I'm a hippie, okay? Now, my fellow progressives out there, I want you to think about something. Charlie Chaplin said that about the end of World War II, machine men with machine hearts and machine minds have turned people into cattle, and these people aren't men, they're machines, and they think too much and they care too little. So that's one end of the extreme. Remember the yin and the yang. Good and bad, bad and good. It is possible to care too much and to think too little. And that is in the Karen side. Now, within this, we get a seed of responsibility that nobody wants. So everyone wants somebody else to do the responsible thing. Everyone else wants somebody else to pay the taxes because they're stronger. They're all of those things. But here's the nuance. If you're one of those people who think someone else should pay for it, there is not enough resources to fix everything. There is not enough resources, and maybe if they could be used perfectly, everything would be fine. But you yourself, like, none of us are perfect. We are flawed, and perfection changes. Just as the North Pole changes. There's true north and there's magnetic north, and everything. The sun isn't even in the same place. The sun is exploding off into one direction and we're all following it. Because of the Big Bang, everything is moving away from each other. The gravity keeps us towards the sun. Everything moves. Everything changes. Even the earth. And if the earth doesn't change, it's because we beat it down so hard that it can't change. Now, once again, things change. And if you're so worried about trucks, then legitimately, do you know in your area, are you still burning coal? Are you still burning coal in order to get energy? If you're burning coal, guys, do you see the nuances, the layers and layers? The more you look into it, the more it looks like that order is being run by chaos. This is just being run by order, which is being run by chaos. Like, man, sometimes you get on some church councils, and these are the people that are supposed to be literally representing order, and their minds are just inflicted with chaos. Some of them have demons racking their minds that are more interested in the personal good and more interested in grandstanding than they are in actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, making the world a better place and reducing human suffering. There are some elders that get into church that are literally just there for networking. If you're not aware of this, if you want to network, you might want to go to church, because once you get into church, it's a bunch of individuals who are looking out for a group for the betterment of each other, and it's kind of like the way that Jews would mainly do work with Jews, but the work had to be good. It really had to be good. And that way they support their community. They're very good at supporting their community. And if you're a part of that group, you can get off with like a lot of things. But anyways, within this group of elders, you had individuals, like they were all trying. They were all trying, but every now and then you get some that were trying just for their own good. And this happens. This absolutely happens. And within that, so within the church, you'd think everything would be perfect. Within the church, you literally had situations where it was being run by not so good people. And with the Catholics, I'm sorry, Catholics, just take this one for me on Easter, because you guys are the only guys that we can reference truth for. Everyone else who got this veil of it could never happen. We had problems in the Catholic Church that were taken care of, which was child abuse, which is unconscionable. And these days, even Catholics joke about it, and they make fun of the Catholic Church. It's different now. I have a lot of respect in Pope Francis. I'm not even sure if he's still alive anymore, but legitimately, when you hear about him and the things that he did, he got rid of the gold. He excommunicated the Italian mafia, which is a big deal. A big deal. They put their money where their mouths were, legitimately. And do you have any idea how much control and power and finance that the Catholics got rid of, and just like, no, we're with God now. So they're doing the good thing now. They're definitely doing the good thing. But there was a time, I think it was Benedict. He was like, and we can all admit there was times when not only being a pope but being a king wasn't about looking after people, but looking after yourself. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the Habsburgs and the 40 years war was all because of just a bunch of kissing cousins. I'm stretching a little bit. Kissing cousins who were really pissed off with each other, and some idiots with a lot of power wanting more power by, what the feminists say about sorry, everything the feminists say about the Catholic patriarchy at one point was real. And like for at least 1 hour, for at least one frickin' hour, it was real. And I think we need to come to the point where we got to be like, yeah, okay, so it was everything, every bit as bad as they said it was. But at the same time, is it really that bad right now? The woke has infiltrated the internet. Okay, all right. If you want to be here woke, it gets really creepy. It gets really weird here. And if you're okay with that, then all right. But don't expect to change us. We will change you. That's the thing about the internet. Battle not with monsters, lest ye become a monster. And stare not into the void, or the void will stare into you. Now, the internet has definitely been changed. It's definitely been changed. Reddit is not like it was, which is unfortunate. The way I wanted Reddit to change is I wanted better moderation to keep kids safe. I wanted better moderation to make sure that the people who didn't have enough money were heard. and the people who had complaints at the bottom didn't get their comments deleted, and that citizens of their own country, regardless if it was my country, got their voices heard. But instead, what's changed is voices were silenced with social justice rules, basically. Conversations that were difficult could no longer happen, and because of that, we could no longer separate good ideas from bad ideas. And in this was paving a ultra-orthodox social justice kind of way that cleaned everything up and made it monetizable, to be sold, to be gamed, because everyone wants their system to be gamed. It's no longer. So you kind of get this idea that everyone just like, hey, for the love of their own good and for all this stuff, and that happens every now and then. You'll get like a block parent that just, they'll give peas to the kids on the corner, and apples. You get those shift mothers within the factories and whatnot. But it just, the more I look out, the more I just see people trying to get money. And hey, I understand that, but there's supposed to be a balance. And I'm not seeing a balance anymore, unfortunately. I mean, we're losing our parks. I can't believe it. And even in my village, we have a park that has been closed down. Very big deal in the 80s and 90s. Very big deal in the 80s and 90s. Parks start getting shut down because of things that happened. It was a big deal in Toronto. I know a guy that actually made it through college because he fell off of a really high slide at his church. They sued the church. Now, I've done a lot of stupid things to get myself hurt at school. I lost my tooth, 2 front teeth. Doing something stupid at school. I was doing something stupid. And also, another time, I was playing What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf, and we were inside, and I ran as fast as I could to the wall, but I was looking behind me to see the teacher coming at me, and I hit the wall so hard. I thought the wall was further. I hit the wall so hard, and I woke up, and everyone was around me wondering if I was okay. I had a concussion, and I got like 2 more concussions after that, like really bad concussions. They had to hook me up to an MRI. Like, I guess it's starting to make sense, right? But anyways, I could have sued the school so many times, but did I? No. Actus reus, mens reus, right? It's not like the school jumped out and got me. Like, shit happens. Sometimes stuff happens. Sometimes you roll a dice and that stuff happens. But the individual that closed this park was only thinking about themselves. They had made it out of a motorcycle accident, and they didn't get the payout that they thought they deserved. This cantankerous woman. So she got all of this money, and we lost the park. I just feel like that's Reddit. I feel like there was a time when, okay, so to any of my close by stalkers, between Palmerston and Listowel, there is the facility that used to be a mental health place. Sorry, Palmerston and Listowel. Western, whatever. I had family that worked there. That place was put there for the mentally handicapped. The money came from the top, right? And it was an interesting place. I mean, people don't know how interesting that place was. Really interesting. But the fact of the matter was, this place had three of something everyone needs: a heater, a furnace, 3 furnaces. And they had 3 of them because they could have one working, one not working, and one being fixed. Guys, we don't have that government funding anymore. When this place was built, there was so much government funding. There was so many, there were so many parks being built. So many clubs were building parks. At the end of World War II, people were trying to give a whole lot more things to children. We don't have that anymore. Those things are being taken away, especially after COVID, being taken away. The stuff seems to be going to oligarchs, people with power, people with the money, who ultimately get everything for easy after that. The drugs come free and the chicks come easy, and even the social justice warrior chicks, man, about 1 in 5 of the chicks that are all about social justice, if they could jump on one of those questionably rich dorks, they probably would, if it would get them higher up in quality, higher up in all of these things. And I don't want to say that, but it's remarkable how easy it is to change someone if you give the money. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. In the 70s, we know this now, but in the 70s, the anti-establishment art scene in New York was quashed by simply giving them money. They simply gave them money, and the art scene changed. Was that Andy Warhol, or was that before Andy Warhol? So it's like they had credibility until the government threw money in there. And like, I know this sounds like conspiracy theorists, but we're at a point now where we can separate the wheat from the chaff, and we kind of know what's going on a lot better than we used to. Things have become declassified, and now we know that under the Hoover administration, I believe it was under the Hoover administration, the CIA was. I think you should look it up. I'm disappointed in them. I mean, everyone said such bad things, and I didn't believe it all. And then I found out that MK Ultra, the only they tried to scrub it so much. Of course, they tried to scrub it, but there was some tax information that was in a sister facility. They kind of stashed it over here, hoarding. Oh, hoarders. There are these folks that go out and protest. Other than protesting, what do you do for your country? What do you do for your community? What do you do for your area? I see a lot of older people at these. I see a lot of older people at these protests, and the older women, I kind of have to wonder: do you ever give peas from your garden to the kids? I had a woman at the corner, Mrs. Whittam, and at least. And she'd feed us peas. She would. She'd be walking down the road like, "Oh, hi, Nevin. Oh, how's your mom doing?" And all of a sudden, I find myself up on her deck, and I'm sitting there talking about, just any little thing. I think I was a 3-year-old kid going for a walk, and I just find myself on her back deck. And you could get away with this stuff back in the day, and you can't now because the world's such a horrible place, and we're all addicted to fear, and something happened to somebody we knew, and all of this horrible thing, and fear, and stay inside, and don't talk to anyone, and don't have family, and don't do any of those things. I legitimately feel like that was a magical situation now, where a woman spirited me onto her deck, filled me full of her garden peas, which were just the most delicious things. Time seemed to stand still as if she was a fairy. And she talked to me about God knows what. Damn, those were good peas. I was a sugar obsessed kid. But they were the kind of peas that you broke them open in the pod and one after, and those peas were juicy, they were delicious, I didn't even need water, and it was magical. It was absolutely magical. And I wonder if Mrs. Whittam, if that's a magic we just don't have anymore. That's a magic we've extracted because we want purity. And within that purity has been hijacked by a different level of evil in a more powerful position. And that's heartbreaking. Thanks for listening to my rants, everybody. Take some responsibility. Help your system do something other than being angry for the world. Pay something forward. And not to a corporation, not to a powerful individual, but we have situations where it's difficult for the average individual to get forward. And after a certain point, people give up. And we need to help them before that. That's it for me, folks. Have a good one.